Hello and welcome back to Solid. My name is Jake. Thank you guys very much for joining me on today. What is it? Sunday, May 26th, just about 1 p.m. And hey Battlehawks, don't sleep. That's what you did. That's what you did right there. Your St. Louis Battlehawks now fall to what is it, 6-3. They're now second in the XFL conference after the San Antonio Brahmas win their game against the Birmingham Stallions, ending their 15-game win streak. San Antonio Brahmas now 7-2 at the top of the XFL conference. Honestly, this game, like, now that we knew that the Brahmas were gonna beat the Battlehawks. Or right, no. Now that we know that the Brahmas beat the Stallions, is what I meant to say. This game actually didn't mean anything. Oh, but that's bad vibes. Yes, in the whole grand scheme of things, the game didn't matter. But the grand scheme of things does not incorporate vibes into its measurement, and vibes are not good. vibes vibes are not good. Your Battlehawks lost to the Brahmas 36-22 in a game that was close until the chickens came home to roost for Manny Wilkins. In this game, obviously, best place to start is Manny Wilkins, 18 for 32, 179 yards, throws a touchdown, and then a whopping three interceptions within a span of, what would that be? That would be one, two, three, four, three interceptions and four throws. Gah. You know, it was the whole time. Wanted, like, okay, so number one, nobody is going to say that Manny Wilkins is not a good runner of the ball. He's not a everybody. We can all admit that Manny Wilkins is good at running the ball. We knew that. We knew that about him. He's not great at it. He's not great. He had some really dumb shit reps in this game. There was one note that I took. It was my third note of the game. Was Manny might suck. He ran straight into a blocker on third down, and he had the whole field to work with. He ran straight into, like, I can't remember which lineman it was, but there was a lineman blocking a guy right in the middle of the field, and Manny Wilkins could have gone anywhere, but he's like, fuck it, I'm gonna put my face through a motherfucking wall right now. And then he tried to, and he didn't. So that was like, okay, well, that was dumb. Let's get all the bad ones out of the way first. Let's get all the bad plays out of the way first, is what I told myself. Little did I know that 2.5 hours later, I would be eating those words, because the three interceptions and four passes is just, ugh, oh my guy. I don't know. Again, he did some good things. There was that third down run, and I think that was the fourth quarter. It might even been the drive that he threw his first interception. He had like this crazy. He was getting tackled, he was getting like sacked by two guys, and he breaks free and gets a first down, or like right in front of the first down on a third down. And it's like, wow, that was pretty electric, man. That was pretty cool. Man, I hope that they can really pull this together. And then he just absolutely fucking crumpled. Yeah, man, he stunk. He stunk. Manny Wilkins, it's been nice. It's been nice knowing you. It's been, you know what? This was fun. This is a fun thing that we did. None of us will ever forget the spring of 2024 when we had Manny Wilkins for a couple games. We're never gonna forget that. It turns out that whenever the broadcast is just talking about a guy, be like, yeah, he actually stepped away from football for a long time to pursue music. He wasn't working on his throwing mechanics in that time. And it shows. It showed a lot. That was ugly. As far as the offense went in this game, they they had four consecutive scoring drives. Their drives, they went punt, fumble. To everybody knows, if there's a fumble and it's a wide receiver that fumbled, it's Blake Jackson that did it. We know that that's what's going to happen if we throw the ball to him. If Blake Jackson gets the ball near him, there's going to be a turnover at his hands somehow. It went punt, fumble, field goal, touchdown, touchdown, punt, interception. Compared to Arlington's went punt, touchdown, field goal, field goal, punt, end of game. Man, they just Arlington showed up when everybody, I guess not. Well, I don't know. Maybe the Battlehawks. They said Anthony Becht in his post game thing. He's like, yeah, no, we look at their film and we know who they are and what their record was and that they're better than their record. And then they played them like they were a 1-7 team. And they got the shit kicked out of them for 60 minutes on the field, 3 hours of our time. So that was gnarly. That was gnarly. Didn't like that one bit. But I guess I kind of wanted to go offense, defense, and then coaching. But I'm gonna just jump to the coaching thing here. That field goal that the Battlehawks had at the end of the first quarter. They had Bruce Gradkowski mic'd up for the game, and he says, "All right, when we score here, make sure you guys get a good celebration." Still waiting on that celebration. Still waiting on that one because it ended up being a 3rd and goal, and Anthony Becht kicked the goddamn field goal. What is it about being across the sideline from Bob Stoops that makes you just be a coward on 4th and shorts? Because remember, again, I brought this up in the bird's eye preview for this, that when the Battlehawks played them in week 2, that was when Anthony Becht kicked a field goal on 4th and 2 inches. He kicked a field goal on 4th and 2 inches, and this time he kicks it on 4th and 3, but it's 4th and goal this time. It's like, buddy, you're not trying, my guy. You're not trying. That was a coward's move. That was a coward. There's gonna be, when we get to the recop this week, we got some awards we got to give out, and a lot of them are gonna be well earned. But yeah, I mean, what it comes down to, Manny Wilkins ran the ball well, 10 carries for 51 yards. But absolutely just dog shit as a passer. I believe it was like going into halftime, he was like 13 for 15 or something like that, and he ends the game 18 for 32. The wheels didn't just fall off. I would argue that they were just never really there, and he was just kind of sliding on a car frame downhill. Because when it came down to crunch time for him, when he had to like come back and start winning, buddy, it just wasn't there. And they came out of halftime strong. They scored right out of halftime. It's like, good. This is great. All right, we're right back on the same play. We're doing it. We're doing this thing. Okay. The Manny Wilkins got some dog in him, doesn't he? No, he didn't. No, he did not at all. Running game, Jake Saylor's just beautiful. 14 carries for 104 yards. The guy's good, man. There's nothing else to say about it. I saw some people on like Reddit and stuff were saying like, why wouldn't we just hand it off? I believe at the end, Jake Saylor's like got a little dinged up there, or cramped, I guess is what it was. I don't know what the weather was in Arlington, but it's Texas in May, so I assume it's probably 90 or plus degrees. But they also practice there, so I'm not entirely sure what the deal is. But yeah, Jake Saylor's just truly amazing. Didn't get any touchdowns. Was kind of kicking the dick for him. Manny Wilkins had 51 rushing yards. Wayne Gallman just had 4 for 2. I did have that was one of the things that I did during the game. I after the muffed punt by Ja'Cour Pearson at the beginning of the game, I came up with a list of goofs, just some goofball, just some real goofy, translate that, just some real stupid dumb shit plays. My list of goofs. Number 1 was a muffed punt by Ja'Cour Pearson. The second one was the fumble by Blake Jackson, but it's not really a goof because that's to be expected. There was the penalty on a field goal by number 9, which is was that on I don't remember that one. 1 second, let me see who number 9 is. Number 9 is Chris Payton-Jones. Yeah, jumped off sides on a field goal. And went from that. They did that whole big stopping thing where nobody could fucking do math. Going off sides, that's a 5-yard penalty, and they had 4.5 yards to go, and nobody could comprehend that 5 minus 4.5 is 0.5. So they were a half a yard over, and nobody except for apparently Bob Stoops is like, no, that's math, guys. This is how math works. Like they even brought in Mike Pereira, who had a blunder of a game too. They were like, I don't understand. I don't understand subtraction. It's like you should probably get that checked out. So there's the field goal penalty by Chris Payton-Jones. There's a fumble on a 2-point conversion by Wayne Gallman. No one touched the kickoff. That one kickoff. I want to put that on Blake Jackson too because I like Darius Shepard. There was the interception on Manny Wilkins. And then there's the there was the pick six on Manny Wilkins, and then there was the other interception on Manny Wilkins. So those are some pretty big goofs. Shouts to is it Keelan Kennedy, I believe is who it was, with the pick one. That might have been the first pick one ever. Yeah, Keelan Kennedy intercepts the ball on a 1-point conversion and brings it all the way back for a single. The man ran 100 yards for a single point, and that is almost Cacaw of the Week worthy. That's Cacaw of the Week worthy. Is running the ball back 100 yards just for a single point. That is fucking nuts that he did that. That was crazy. But I'm jumping all around. Let's get back to trying to get my head on straight here. Talked about the passing game. Talked about the running game. But I didn't talk about the passing game completely because the receivers. Marcel Aitman was healthy. Nothing to him. I don't even believe I saw him on the field. Again, coming off of COVID, so I'm not entirely sure. Darius Shepard was your leading receiver. 5 catches for 47 yards. Then it goes Stephen Mitchell, who I'm going to say, you know what? I'm going to be the bigger man. I was wrong about Stephen Mitchell. When I said that he was good 4 weeks ago, I was not a Stephen Mitchell guy anymore. 4 catches for 46 yards on 6 targets, and he had some real dumb reps there. Wayne Gallman, running back, obviously is your third leading receiver in this game, of course. 2 catches for 29 yards. Ja'Cour Pearson 2 for 13. Hakeem Butler only got the ball thrown to him 3 times, 2 catches for 12 yards. Oh, by the way, Ja'Cour Pearson had the ball thrown to him 5 times for and he only caught it twice. A lot of these are on Manny Wilkins. Like if AJ's in there, you can see that these are drops. We saw that with in the Birmingham game. A lot of them were drops. With Manny Wilkins, there's not even an opportunity for it to be a drop. It's just he's just bad at throwing the ball. Then Jake Sutherland 1 catch for 16 yards. Jake Sailors 1 for 11. Then Blake Jackson 1 for 5. The passing game wasn't there. The running game was there, but they went away from it, kind of. I don't know. It was just ugly. It's just ugly. This offense doesn't have a what's the word? Not a definition, not a description. They don't have an identity. This offense doesn't have an identity when Manny Wilkins, because again, it really seemed like I was kind of hoping. I think the offensive line played better. They only allowed just 1 sack, I believe. Let me make sure that that's correct. They actually allowed 0 sacks this game. The offensive line played much better this game than they did last week. It seemed like they kind of had an idea of what Manny Wilkins was looking for, but then nobody else was on the same page with Manny Wilkins at all, because he just takes the ball off and then just does weird shit with it. And then he cannot throw the ball. As far as the offense goes, I want to say that the Manny Wilkins experience is over, but I'm kind of up in the air with that because, okay, here's my thought. We're going to find out exactly how much home field advantage matters to this team, to this Battlehawks team. Because if they play all of their starters, I think that's dumb. I think that's dumb because you want your guys to go in healthy. You want your guys to go in healthy in must-win games. And Week 10 is not a must-win game. Yes, it's going to be exponentially better if they have a home field advantage for the conference final, for the XFL conference final, that first playoff game. That's what I'm going to start calling it, the conference final, because calling it playoffs when there's only one game and then the championship, conference championship. We'll call it that, conference championship. We're going to find out how much it means for them to have home field on a conference championship to them by whether or not they put their starters in. If they put their starters in, they're going to have a chance to beat this San Antonio team. If they play their backups, there's not a chance. This San Antonio team they're a good team. They got a real good defense. They got their starting quarterback is back now. Like they're a good team. They're a good team. So if they want to win and get that home field advantage, they'll play A.J. McCarron. A.J. McCarron, give him an extra week of rest because a healthy A.J. McCarron is more important than home field advantage. That is undeniable at this point. Yeah, as a fan, it would be cool to have that game there. Another home game. Fuck yeah, it's a lot of fun. Those games are a lot of fun to be at, and home field advantage is a real thing in that stadium. But Manny Wilkins is not. He is not the. I'm trying to like home field advantage is here, and Manny Wilkins is down here, and then the middle's like right here. Like Manny Wilkins is bad overdoes the good of home field advantage. So again, I I I want Manny Wilkins. I don't want to see Manny Wilkins anymore. Trust me, I don't want to see Manny Wilkins anymore as much as you guys. I'm done with Manny Wilkins. That being said, the smart thing to do is play Manny Wilkins. Fuck it. Do Brandon Silver. The guy hasn't played yet. Give him some reps. Get some tape out there on him. And maybe if you put the new guy out there, then yeah, that's where I'm gonna go. Brandon Silver's in week 10. Do Brandon Silver's. That's what I want, because we saw what happened last week when a team didn't have any tape on Manny Wilkins, and he did. The Battlehawks won that game. No tape on Brandon Silvers. Put Brandon Silvers out there in this offense and see what happens. Just fuck around. Like there's no reason not to fuck around. It's a meaningless game unless you really do want to win. In that case, you put in AJ McCarron and Hakeem Butler. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. That was the other thing I wanted to bring up with the Hakeem Butler thing. Yeah, he only got 3 targets, but I'm kind of glad I brought this up last week, is that Manny Wilkins might have a grudge against Hakeem Butler because he just throws hospital passes to him and he gets his entire insides ripped out of his body. So the fact that Hakeem Butler didn't get injured this game, count that as a W. That's a win for us right there. I don't know, man. It was just an ugly game. Did I have anything else on the offense? It just stunk. This whole game just stunk, and then the stinkiness ended up catching up to Manny Wilkins at the end, and it's like, this guy's really bad at throwing the ball, but why isn't he throwing any interceptions? Man, this is crazy. Why isn't he throwing any interceptions? And then they all came like, oh, there they are. The law of averages is a real thing. This guy who really sucks at throwing the ball through 2 games, yeah, he's going to throw 3 interceptions. Of course, if you told me Manny Wilkins was going to throw 3 interceptions in the 2 games that he starts, I would 100%, I would agree. I'd be like, yeah, of course he's going to do that. He's not good at throwing the ball. You would just kind of hope that he spreads them out a little bit and not one after another, at the very end of a game. That up until the pick 6 was winnable for the Battlehawks. I don't know. And it was winnable because that's just how the Renegades lose games too. In the very end of games, teams come back on them and then they end up losing 7 games. So that's kind of the story was there. The story was there. It's just Manny Wilkins like, no. Watch this. And then threw it to the wrong guy in a completely different color. So it sucks, but that's where we're at. Good thing is that San Antonio won their game. So it's not like the Battlehawks had a missed opportunity here because the game next week would still have the same stakes. It's good that it wasn't a missed opportunity. Like in totality it wasn't a missed opportunity. It would have been cool if they would have won, and then we could bitch and moan that it was a missed opportunity. If you guys get what I mean. I don't know. It was dumb on offense. Is there any other? Oh yeah, the Battlehawks did a brotherly shove. Fuck yeah, they lined up for it last week. But then a guy on what was the other team that we played last week? On DC jumped, and we didn't get to see a brotherly shove, and then they did it this week. So that was good. I like that. Stephen Mitchell, I guess Stephen Mitchell did have a big catch. I wrote Stephen Mitchell with a huge catch, ? I think the question mark was because they went up and snapped the ball. I'm still not wrong on him though. Now that I've changed. Let's see. This team clearly looked ahead of this game. It seemed like they burned through first and second downs super quickly, and then it just automatically the first and second downs would just be a run for nothing or a run for a little bit, and then Manny Wilkins doing something stupid for no gain, and then it would be third down immediately, and we're like, well, where the fuck did this drive go? And I wonder if I can actually no, it doesn't show up on the drive charts. But I don't know, man. It was dumb. Let's see. This is kind of before I get to the defense. I kind of liked their technical difficulty I sneaky liked the single camera thing. I kind of liked that with not a whole lot of cutting from the replays. We got to see everything come in and how everybody lined up. It wasn't really jumpy. I like that. Okay. As far as defense goes, defensively. Yikes. Defensively, another game where they were abysmal on third downs. They allowed 6 of 14 third downs. You got to be able to get off the field. I believe there was a handful of those were penalty. No, it was actually just one defensive offside. The Battlehawks are pretty clean on penalties this game. But it just seemed like well, that's what it was, is that Arlington had 114 yards of yak. Defense was not tackling at all. The defensive line didn't show up against a quarterback that doesn't leave the pocket. I like the idea of them continuing to rush 4 instead of 5 on third downs, especially with what we've seen this defensive line be able to do and what these edge rushers are able to do. But they just didn't win. They just did not win their reps. They did not beat the guy on the other side of them, and then just never got to Luis Perez. My issue with the rushing 5 is that that's just too many cooks in the kitchen. You start seeing guys like running into each other. It just gets to be a clusterfuck. And I just would have rather had more. I would have liked to seen a little bit more stunts rather than guys trying to win on the outside. If we knew that they were like 3 quarters in, we're like, yeah, we're not getting home. We've only got 1 sack this game. We're not getting home. We got to switch some things up a little bit. I don't remember seeing it. But last week they did some packages with all 4 defensive ends instead of like the TJ Pesafea, like the TJ Pesafea, Kobe Smith. They did that package a few times, and I think I would have liked to see that, try to win on the inside with speed, just to see if it would work. And I don't believe that I saw that ever happening this game. Which is kind of a bummer. They just kind of stuck with what they did, and it wasn't working on getting home. And if you're going to stop this team, you got to make sure that you can try to get in Luis Perez's face, because that's when he's going to be a bad quarterback. The guy's unflappable, and if you don't try to flap him, which is, I think that's how that works. If you don't try to flap him, then he's just going to continue to do what he does with Sal Cannella, which that guy looks, I don't like his vibe. I don't like that guy's vibe one bit. Sal Cannella, ugh, you're yucky. Sal Cannella is their leading receiver, 5 catches for 70 yards with a touchdown. Yeah, he just kind of chewed up and just ate this defense's lunch. I don't know, man. It was not good. They did a okay job against the run. Okay, I mean they allowed less than 100 rushing yards, as just 88, 41 to one running back, 40 to the other. They did get gashed a handful of times, but it's Luis Perez, 24 for 36, 259 yards and 3 passing touchdowns. You just can't allow that, and it sucks because we've seen that this defense is one of the better defenses against passing. That's, I don't know how you phrase it. I'm not thinking. They're good against when a quarterback throws the ball, and then they just played like shit today. Just no tackling. They just would hit, and then there wasn't like a swarm of guys. A few times there were, but not on any consistent basis, which is where we get 114 yards of yak. What did I say? They were 16 for 14 on third downs. Arlington was 6 for 14. They were 1 for 1 on fourth downs. I don't know, man. It was just ugly. It was just ugly is what it was. Is there any advanced stats that I want to look at here? Not Birmingham. Why can't I fucking think of this team's name? Arlington Renegades. Arlington Renegades had 9 big plays for 206 yards. These giant chunks that were just gutting. Man, I don't know. It was ugly all around. The defense, this entire team clearly overlooked this game entirely. I mean, I don't want to say that they just like got home field advantage. They're just like, fuck it, I don't really want to play the rest of the season anymore, which I would get, and keep your guys healthy and everything like that. But this was ugly, and now the vibes are low. You cannot I'm a vibe guy. I know some people aren't vibe guys. If I bring up vibes and you're like, this guy's a fucking asshole, I get it. Not everybody's a vibe guy. I am a vibe guy. And when vibes are low, I mean, this team has come back from their losses and they've won, but the situation now is a little bit more dire. They have to play the same team twice in a row, and the same team that they have to play twice in a row is a really good team. And then congratulations, you beat the same team. If you beat the same team the second time, then you have to play the hardest team. Like, you're up shit creek, and that's what happens at the end of the season. So that's kind of where we're at, man. It's an unfortunate thing, but I don't know. That's not good. It's just all these notes that I have. Very bad tackling by defensive backs. These corners are playing playing poorly. Chris Payton-Jones beating off the ball. He had a bad game. I believe one here I said Chris Payton-Jones is Chris Payton-Jones is having a bad day out. This was if you wanted to do a title to this game, it is Chris Payton-Jones, no good, very bad, horrible, awful day. But everybody else, man, there was one drive where Carson Wells micros and Drayvon Askew Henry had a really good 3-and-out. Where was that at? Was that like the second drive of the game, I believe is what it was? These guys just came to play and just shut down on an entire drive, and it felt good that early in the game. It's like it felt good because at that point, I believe that came right after the fumble. I'm like, okay, come into play. Defense bails you out. Let's get back on the field. And then it comes to that field goal that was so lame and stupid. And there was a long drive too. Like they started that drive on their own 5-yard line. Ugh. They started on their own 5-yard line and then just farted it away. Anyway, I think that's all I got for this reaction. I don't know. I wish I could have more for you guys, but it's just I don't know. It's so hard to put a pin, to find out what the hell is going on this team. There were so many screens. It was the catches weren't there. The quarterback's bad in this league. If you have a bad quarterback, you're going to play poorly. That's generally how this league goes. Yes, there's the Arlington Renegades who have a decent quarterback, but they suck. But for the most part, if you have a bad quarterback, you're not going to win games, and that's what happened here. We had the experience of having a running quarterback get stuff on third downs, which was fun to see. But I'm kind of tired of that at this point. He's not a dual threat guy, and the people are like, "Oh, this guy's a running back, not a quarterback." No, don't give him that. Don't give him that. There's the racial connotation that comes with being like, "Oh, this guy's he's just a running back. He's not a quarterback." Don't do that. He's just a bad quarterback. Don't give him the grace of saying that he's a good running back, because we don't know if he's a good running back. Jacob Saylors is a good running back. Manny Wilkins is just a bad quarterback. That's how that is. If anybody, and this is the thing, I thought of this after this game, is that if anybody ever says that all Jalen Hurts does is run, I'm just going to be like, you know what? I have a game for you to watch, and that is Manny Wilkins playing against the Arlington Renegades. Nailed it on that one on May 25th. Let's watch that one together, because that guy, all he does is run. All he does, he's a bad quarterback. Jalen Hurts is a good quarterback. Jalen Hurts is a great quarterback. Don't give me this bullshit about Manny Wilkins just being a running back. You're a fucking idiot if you think that. He's a bad quarterback is what Manny Wilkins is, and we've seen that for 2 games, and it all culminated with 3 interceptions. If Brandon Silvers doesn't start next week, and if it is not AJ McCarron, and it is Manny Wilkins, I will probably be upset. I don't want to see that. I want to see a Brandon Silvers. Let's give the guy a shot. That's all I'm saying. I did talk about Mike Pereira having a dumb game. There was, when they were reviewing, was that a Jake Saylors touchdown that they said wasn't a touchdown, and like they were like, well, I can't see whether or not the ball crossed the plane. I can't confirm it. And they had one shot where you could see that the ball was not in his stomach. It was clearly above his breastplate, above his chest. And then, but you couldn't see the ball there. You could just see that it wasn't on his tummy. And then they had the other camera behind his back where you could see that his shoulders were past his shoulders, and from his breastplate up were past the end zone. They broke the plane. And he's like, well, I can't tell. It's like, well, I fucking can. I can, Mike. I can, and you should be able to. Because we are able to critically think in these situations, and if we know that he has the ball, and we know that he's not holding the ball in his crotch, or he doesn't have it tucked down his pants, and on the other camera we can see that it's not in his tummy, that leaves a very small area for that ball. It's not in his helmet. It's somewhere here. It's somewhere from rib cage up, from nipples up is where the ball is. It's from nipples to shoulder. It's like a 1 foot, 2 foot thing that this guy could have, this ball. And that part of his body, while we can't see the ball, is crossing the plane. And you say that, oh no, we can't tell. It's like, well, where do you think the ball is, you jack shit? Like, what are you doing? Like, why are you doing this? It's so dumb. And my thought going into this, and this would be the first time that I've ever had this happen for me, is that we have a real situation here, because the XFL needs the Battlehawks to be in in the championship game, or else it's just going to be a no show. I've got my tickets for already, and I'm prepared. I'm going to go, but not a lot of people are going to. I like ball, but not it's not nearly going. It's not going to be the whatever Big Tone says like, oh, it's going to be 50, 60,000 people in that stadium. If it's not you, ain't nobody going to be there, buddy. Ain't nobody going to be there. Ain't nobody. So we're in a situation where the XFL or UFL really wants Battlehawks fans to be in that game, and what that means is that there's a potential for the refs to maybe swing a thing or two. Maybe they get a call from The Rock. Maybe they get a call from The Rock, and The Rock's like, hey, it'd be cool if the other team jumped off sides a little bit. Maybe that'd be cool. But also, it's undeniable whenever your quarterback throws three interceptions, and one of them being a pick six. The refs at that point, they're just like, well, what the fuck do you want me to do? I can't swing a game if this quarterback's a piece of shit. Like I can't do that. So we're in a situation where we could get some things to go in our favor, as long as things don't get ridiculously out of hand like they did yesterday. So that's where we're at. Honestly, as a human being, yeah, that'd be kind of cool if the XFL or UFL did swing things our favor. It'll be obvious when they do it, and it'll be like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? These are professional refs. I can't, man. What are you gonna do? It's tough. It sucks that they kept calling things for us. But then Manny Wilkins throws 3 interceptions. We're like, well, fuck, he can't do that. I don't know. That's just something to think about. But anyway, been talking for a half hour. I'm going to go. Thank you guys very much for joining me on this episode of Solid. Should have brought this up at the beginning. You want to watch this? You can watch us on YouTube. Solid Pod on YouTube. You want to listen to it and you don't want to watch me? You can listen to it on Spotify and Apple. It's Solid. Thank you guys very much. I will be back with you later this week with a recap where I absolutely tear this game down to its studs and maybe even more than that. Give out some really brutal awards, possibly more of the week. Maybe not just one. Maybe not just one. It'll probably just be one, but it'll be a very good one. Come back with some awards. Get back to you guys with a bird's eye preview for the game against the San Antonio Brahmas for Week 10. And that's where we'll be. Go Battlehawks. Go Iron Birds. Go Birds. Could cause the law. While it might be martial law, not a fully fledged signed in one, but martial law is still law. Honestly, if you say anything. Like yesterday, I had a guy, I was at a gas station checking out, and this guy walked up next to me and I was checking out at the counter, and this guy set his stuff on he set his stuff on the counter next to me. The guy behind me was like, what the fuck is this? And I said that, and that can obviously be translated to go Battlehawks. So anything that you say, whether it be cause the law, go Birds, go Iron Birds, go Battlehawks, anything that you say, or what the fuck are you doing to a person standing next to you in a gas station, that person's going to know that it's a Battlehawks thing. I'll talk to you guys later.